Hi, I'm Sandy Genovese and welcome to this episode of the Ellison Education video series. Well, today we're going to create a bulletin board sized flag with three-dimensional stars. And I have it on the board behind me, so if you look at it, you can see that it's made up of a couple of different elements. I started by just covering the board with red paper. Now I wish I had butcher paper in red, but I didn't. So that would be the easiest thing, is to just cover with red butcher paper. But you can piece together the larger construction paper sheets if you have that. Once the board was covered in red, then I went back and I just free cut waves out of white, and they're attached. I cut them all together, and then I went back and separated them so that the red will show through, and it just gives the effect of a waving flag. Then when you look, you can see that I've got places where the kids are going to write reports to fit the patriotic theme, and that'll go in these spaces here. The final element are these three-dimensional stars, and this is where the kids, all the students really will have fun with this. You can see lots of options, but let's start with how you cut the star and how you fold to get that dimensionality. Here is one that I've already cut, and I've marked it with a pencil, but really you don't need to actually do any of the drawing with pencil. That's just so you can see easier on the white. But what you're going to do is lay down the ruler, and every place where two of the legs of the star come together, you're going to start and draw a line, or lay your ruler down and crease from this point to the tip. So if I had this laying down, I would use my creaser or bone folder, whatever you have for creasing, to go from this point to this. And then I'm going to come around now where these two legs meet to the tip across. I'm going to do the same thing. So you just work your way around. Because it's a five-pointed star, you're going to have to repeat this 5 times. When you have all of those marked, then you're going to go back and fold on each one of those crease lines that you just made. And once again, you'll need to do it 5 times because it's a 5-pointed star. That will give you, these are all mountain folds. Then you're going to go back and reverse to a valley fold each of these little small segments. So I'll fold this in so it becomes a valley fold on each one of these sections. You can see how the dimensionality is created. I'm going to really give it a nice firm crease. So you create a really cool dimensional star. Well, that's the beginning, but if you go back with other colors, and I've marked this one with pencil so you can see, if you cut any of these segments out and you start to layer them, it really creates a fresh design as well. So if I took, in this case, patterned paper, and put a little bit of adhesive on the back, and then attach this to one section of the star, and I'll do the same thing with one more section. You can work your way around and do the entire star. You can just do a few sections of it. But you can see how you start to create really fun design elements. If you have hole punches, you can punch areas out of one design so that when it sits down, the other color will show from behind. You can also add smaller stars. Here you can see I've taken the exact same process. I haven't drawn it with a pencil because all I needed to do was just fold, but I've put my creases in the same places, and it can now be layered on top of this design, either so it aligns perfectly or at an angle to create more dimensionality. And if you look at some of the options on the board behind me, you'll see here, you can see that I've done where I've punched out with holes out of the blue, so that the yellow will show through. And in this example, I've done the same thing, but just mixed up the size of the hole punches so that you have different sized polka dots peeking through. In this example, all I did was just use patterned paper before I cut the star out initially. And here I've used white correction tape to create stripes on that star. Here I've used a white pin to draw smaller stars on the blue section. This is where the kids can really have fun, and they can use all their creative potential to make stars however they want. You know, a flag-themed bulletin board, it's great for lots of patriotic holidays like Memorial Day, Flag Day, Veterans Day, President's Day, even the 4th of July.